All right, we're back. Another season. Pro football show. Chevy Silverado. Chicago. Couldn't be more excited to be back.
Yeah, Will, how are you feeling?
Boys, girl, this season is going to be awesome. But who is this jabroni?
That's the mystery guest. Different host every single week.
I love that idea. Let's go!
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. It is a new season, a new desk here. Dan is here. Jersey Jerry's behind me the whole show, so that's new. And we have a new co-host.
Oh.
The boys.
Oh.
We've got
Flex.
Will Compton.
You like that?
Flex on them.
Do I look sturdy?
Yeah, you do.
Do I look sturdy?
Sounds sturdy.
man.
Sounds sturdy. We have Taylor Lewan here. We will have a rotating fourth desk.
Yeah,
but you are here. You're honored. I mean, of course.
The first one. This is a big deal.
This is a very big deal. I mean, Will got called up to the big leagues when you guys were already giving him shit before the show. He has a whole notepad with him, a whole notebook. I mean, tons of notes.
Yeah.
He's prepared.
Listen, you don't have a photo like that hanging up without some preparation. This, I know I take a lot of chirps for it, but this is the way I go about my business. I go prepared.
You played 9 years in the league from the neck up.
Neck up.
Neck up.
Wait, wasn't it 10?
It's
Debatable.
we're at that
I'm
point
counting
now. We can
10.
talk about it.
I'm counting 10.
I like to count. I like to count 10. We were there to sign, but I couldn't be more stoked to work with you guys. Like, I cannot wait. The group chats are firing in fantasy football. I have a nice little allowance in my sports book. I cannot wait to give my mind, body, and soul to this group, only to probably be let down by the end of the year. But there's nobody I'd rather do it with than you guys.
I also, belated congratulations. I did tweet about it when you retired, but you can't tell the story of football without Will Compton.
I appreciate
That's
that.
a fact. And you did also cuck Taylor's retirement, which is coming.
Is that the rumor that's going around?
Maybe.
Is that what's circling
I
behind
don't
the
know.
scenes like that?
I'll tell you
I'm
what.
an active NFL football player.
You were an active NFL football player, but
That gambles.
you also, you've lost so much weight that, like, you put yourself in a box. You should have waited to lose the weight to at least keep people guessing.
Come on, it was right.
Okay, yeah, it was.
If you are going to make
You've lost 70 pounds quick. You're gambling. Like,
But you're still
Don't get it
maybe
twisted.
going
I
to
can
play.
come back and play, no problem.
Yeah.
I can play
just
tight
look at
end.
that camera and say thank you guys for the incredible moments of this career.
do the retirement announcement right now.
See, I don't like that. I don't like that because I remember being on Part of My Take and them trying to do that to you, and you wouldn't do that.
But what did you say? You said,
I
Will,
said,
why not? You know it's a joke. Just say it. Just look at it right now. We're both retired.
I'm retired.
Oh, there we go. Breaking
Yay!
news.
Congrats on a great career, Taylor.
Don't do that.
You can't tell the story of football without Taylor Lewan. That's a fact. Yes.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Happy to be here, boys.
Yes, and throughout the year, we're going to have some more retired NFL players. And Will, I mean,
I'm active.
You active, excuse me. Retired as of 5 seconds ago. You've unretired.
I'm
You
back.
pulled a
I'm
faster
back.
unretirement than Tom Brady.
Going to the Steelers.
Deion Sanders has been sitting here. How do you feel about taking over his shoes this year?
From a gold jacket to a T-shirt, I'm ready to go. Deion, he's going to have his hands full this weekend with the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Yeah.
And I hope we beat that ass, but
Well,
I am a fan of
By the
Prime.
time this airs, you'll know.
Well,
After you
we're
get
sitting here, Nebraska's sitting here 1-1. We got a big game next week to go 2-1. No, I am a fan of Prime and all that, but it is.
Sounds like you're not.
Well, 2 Hall of Famers.
Listen, we're in the trenches right now, BC.
Okay.
You know how it is.
It's a war
No,
out there.
sounds
It's a
like
war
you're
out there. Nebraska needs this for the Bus and Bowl.
If Wisconsin
They
played
need it.
Colorado week 2, I'd be rooting for Colorado. Unfortunately, they're not playing, so I can't.
Well,
I can't prove
you're
that.
a fair weather fan.
No, I can't prove
You're a
that.
fair weather
I
fan.
can't prove that. That's how much I love Prime.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a fan of Prime, but
So if when this is airing, you're sitting here and Nebraska's 0-2, just in case.
Same old.
We have to cover all bases here.
it's not same old, same old. It's not same old, same old.
Brother, it's
I know
same old,
everyone
same
wants to- It's not same old, same old.
Listen, he
That's a
can't
fact.
be hurt. It's-
I get if you want to bring a decade of losing into the equation, but this is a new era. Like, it's the rule era. You can feel a little bit different energy there. Like, his track record, everybody's like, oh, give him 3 years, give him a few years. But the minute you start off 0-2, it's like, oh, same old, same old. What
Right
are we
now.
going to do?
We're right.
Right now.
Same
Right
old,
now. Same
right
old.
now.
Same old.
Right.
Yeah. Or we could be sitting here when this is airing and you could have beaten Colorado by 50. That's not going to happen, but you never know.
It won't be
not
by
50.
50.
All
maybe
the options
5.
are out there.
Maybe 5.
All the options are
But
out
if
there.
Dub's a dub, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Amen.
It's true.
And that's
a
what we're
good
looking at.
point.
If we're week 2 and Nebraska's at 0-2, then same old, same
You are
old.
what your record says you are.
Yeah, we'll just catch up on it next week. We'll
Also,
see how
shout out
you
to the
feel.
Michigan Wolverines being 2-0 at this point.
Pro Football Show.
And Texas A&M. Okay, yes, Pro Football Show presented by Chevy Silverado. Visit Chevy.com to check out the Chevy Silverado. Excited to get into the week 1 action. We're going to start with the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We're going to start with the 49ers and the Steelers. The 49ers are favored by 2.5. Dan, I'll start with you. First of all, I'm excited we're going to get to talk gambling this year.
Yes.
We're talking lines, we're talking spreads, we're talking totals. Obviously, last year the 49ers had a great season. I know Jerry's going to have a lot to say about his Pittsburgh Steelers, but I'll let you start with this game. What are you thinking we expect to see?
I mean, the
next?
49ers, obviously, I'm going into week 1 trying to think about just week 1, not where these teams are going to end up, because I do fully believe that the 49ers are going to end up in the conversation, Super Bowl contender. They are an absolutely stacked roster. Kyle Shanahan is one of my favorite coaches. But I think the Steelers, as underdogs, Mike Tomlin, I don't want to get into the preseason stuff because Jersey Jerry's like, you see them in preseason. Preseason doesn't matter.
Preseason does not matter.
Preseason doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter at all.
But I do think
preseason matters.
It matters for rookies.
It matters
for rookies, and that's it.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
It doesn't matter. But I'm going to take the Steelers because I think Mike Tomlin as a dog. You saw it last year when they played the Bengals week 1. You saw it, I think, 2 years ago when they played the Bills. Mike Tomlin as a dog at home. He's phenomenal in this spot. He's going to get the guys motivated. I think it's going to be a really tight game, and I'm going to take the Steelers with the points.
Taylor, you don't like that? Will,
Well,
you
it's
don't
not
like
that it's not that I don't like that. It's the fact that, like, and a little note here, right? The home team has won each of the last 5 meetings. That's great. That's awesome. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are a fantastic team. I don't think they're going to win their division. I don't think they'll even get second in their division. But I think they're going to show up in this game. Everything's pointing towards Steelers actually playing well. There's a 70% chance of rain. You don't have all those athletes in the 49ers being able to dice it, go like all over the place. But at the end of the day, I think the 49ers are just too good of a team. They're arguably the best roster in all of college football. They can only be second to the Philadelphia Eagles.
He's not getting back. He's not getting invited back.
And I think that what?
You said the 49ers are the best roster in all of college football.
Sorry, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one to start.
It's
You're so handsome. You talking about college football first?
It's week
Everybody
one.
watching, you're so
mulligan there.
handsome, nobody's even going to realize that.
The 49ers,
This guy's an idiot.
The 49ers are arguably the best put-together NFL team.
I agree with
Only
that.
second
I agree
to
with
the
that.
Philadelphia Eagles.
And I think what you
They got a chip on their shoulder from what happened in the NFC Championship game. I think they come out with heat. They're ready. They have a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to take care of business.
So you think we'll see Brock Purdy just absolutely take off where he did last year?
See, that's my biggest question.
Yeah, I think if Brock
Purdy's my biggest question mark. I think people are a little too hype on him right now.
If Brock Purdy
He's got
was
so
out there,
many
they win the
aliens
Super
around
Bowl.
him.
If Brock Purdy was out there, they win the Super Bowl.
I don't disagree.
The
with that.
momentum
I
that
don't
they
disagree
had,
with that.
and they do. They have a fully stacked roster. They're all healthy right now. Joey Bosa just signed for $1 billion, or Nick Bosa. I'm sorry, signed for $1 billion. And you also got to remember Christian McCaffrey. He came on mid-season. Now he's got a full acclimation period with the offseason with Shanahan. Debo's back.
Yep.
I'm telling
Love
you, I
Debo.
like the Niners. The only thing I'm nervous about is they're traveling to Pittsburgh. It's a long flight and everything else.
But you
no
know.
disrespect to the Steel Curtain. I do think they're going to be fighting for that 7 seed in the playoffs. I think they're going to be scrapping at the end of the year. But I like the Niners week 1.
Okay.
Jerry?
No, I just feel like Taylor speaks of chips on the shoulder. I don't think anybody has a bigger chip than Kenny Pickett. I mean, people bashed him last year. Went on to, throw only 1 interception in the last 8 games. Looked really, really good. I'm going to say this: he's better than Brock Purdy, and he'll show that on Sunday. And TJ and Nick Bosa are on the same level. So that's going to be fun to watch them both out there.
You're right, Brock
No,
Purdy.
go ahead.
I was going to say, Brock Purdy getting drafted in the 7th round. Like, they just traded Trey Lance to say that he's the guy. He has no reason to feel like he's got a lot of pressure this year to have a big chip on his shoulder. But you're right, Jerry.
Yeah, good work, Jerry.
How many games are the Steelers winning this year?
10 or 11,
10 or
I'd say.
11.
Yeah.
Have you been talking to any of them?
Oh, yeah, I talk to Kenny every day.
Yeah?
Every single day, yeah.
Every single
do
day.
like
Every single day.
I think Kenny's a stud.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
He's good.
And he probably is the better quarterback, but too much firepower with the 49ers.
The defenses are the same. They have the same defense.
Yeah, but the 49ers do have a better defensive end.
Yeah.
They have the best defensive end that'll be on the field.
No, they don't.
The Steelers also don't have Fred Warner.
Or Greenlaw.
I mean, the Niners are
Fitzpatrick, Cam
stacked.
Hayward.
Stacked, brother.
I'm taking the Steelers not because I think the Niners are bad. They're one of the best teams in the NFL. I'm taking the Steelers because I like the spot.
And you like
if you had
Jerry.
to draw a line in the sand, would you say they're the best team in the NFL?
I would say, like you said, the best roster in college football. Exactly like you said.
They absolutely would be.
Yeah.
They absolutely would
Without
be.
a question.
That
That
is
is
football.
You are 1-0
Yeah.
in those takes.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thank God I'm only here once.
Yes. Well, then we'll just start with you. We'll give you a chance to redeem yourself here.
Let's do
We'll
it.
start with you on the Cowboys and the Giants. The Cowboys favored by 3.5. We know that the Cowboys, when you talk about rosters that are stacked with talent, they have a lot of talent. Last year was kind of looked like they could potentially be that team. Then they weren't. The Giants, same way. New York fans were excited last year. Big time NFC East game here early in the season. What do you expect?
You know what? I think the Cowboys are obviously 12-5 last year.
Mm-hmm.
They showed a lot of promise, but what happened over and over again? They just disappointed us when it came to the playoffs. The Giants, they're building something special. They are building something special over there, and I think it's going to be led by a guy, Saquon Barkley, who's not only fighting for himself, but running backs all over the National Football League. I'm going to have to take the Giants with an upset early in week 1.
Will?
I don't disagree with the things that he's saying. I like the culture that they have going over there. You can see they're very excited when they were winning late in the year, but it's like Dallas, they're good on defense. Pollard, I know he's ready to have his
They're
moment.
good on offense, too.
Pollard is ready to have his
How
moment.
about Deuce Vaughn?
Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn's a stud.
Yes, but I mean, you got CeeDee Lamb. They just added Cooks. Dak's got all the weapons in the world. Yes, the O-line is getting a little long in the tooth. However, they're still sturdy. They're still built to protect.
Say it.
I like Dallas. I like
Okay.
Dallas.
I didn't like that.
Dan?
I am nervous about this game. I've thought about this game a lot. The Cowboys own the Giants. They have, if you look back, I think Dak Prescott has only lost like once to the Giants.
The Cowboys have won 11 of the last 12.
Yeah, so that's bad. And I go a lot about once we get into football season, I start dreaming about football. I actually, no joke, I had a dream last night about Micah Parsons just completely wrecking this entire game. But I'm going to go back to old reliable, division game, underdog at home. These teams know each other. It's going to be tight. I'll take the 3.5 with the Giants.
And the Sunday night
Against
football.
my dreams. It was more of a nightmare because I think I'm gonna bet the Giants.
If you're
and
going
I just saw Micah
money
Parsons.
line, who are you taking?
Probably Giants.
Really?
So then get
Good value, good value, good value, good value. Yeah, no, I'm not because
You see
dude,
what you did there?
dude, I had a
hit there with
fucking
these?
dream last night of no joke, dream of Micah Parsons getting like 6 sacks and just being like, they can't block this guy.
Yeah, I mean,
If it is close, I like the way the Giants are built mentally.
They do win those
And
games.
they do have Darren Waller now.
I don't know, but think about what happened on Thursday Night Football. Like Kansas City is the better football team, but they played sloppy.
But they were also missing their second and third best player.
There's no question about it. No question. But I just feel like the Cowboys are a little weirdly confident. They're, as always, they're in the media and everyone's sucking them off over and over and over again. They're going to the Giants. I just think they're going to get a little loose. Week 1's always sloppy football. Mm-hmm. It's always sloppy football. You always walk away from that game with so much to coach on, win or loss. And I think now we're sitting. Can
I ask you a question?
Don't bring up 49ers and Steelers.
No. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because this is actually why it's great that you guys are part of this show. Sloppy football. When you go to week 1, do you know, like, are you standing there warming up being like, this is going to be sloppy? Or you're like, no, we're tight, we're good?
Never.
Which one?
You never think it's going to be sloppy football because to play in the National Football
And then you get out
League,
there and you're like, shit, this is sloppy.
Yeah, you get out there and you're like, I can't believe we're doing this.
Yeah.
Perfect example is week 1, Tennessee Titans and New York Giants last year. Tennessee Titans were a better football team than New York Giants. We lost on a missed field goal, sloppy ball all over the place.
Right.
That pissed me off, too.
Dude, pissed me the fuck off. But you never go into a game as a football player thinking like, oh, it's going to be sloppy. There's always that level of delusion.
But then it starts and you're like, damn, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, you're like,
Friday-
you go 3-and-out the first time, you're like, we had the best 10 plays ever.
Yeah,
This is wild.
Next Friday tape with Rabel, he's just going to be talking about, hey, week 1, what did I tell you guys? Sloppy ball everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Running
Yeah, you
it.
know, like today, literally as we're filming this right now, he's sitting in a team meeting showing the entire game,
Excited.
Kansas City game of how
Sloppy
bad they
football.
played.
Yeah.
Also, T's and P's to,
Kadarius Toney?
Kadarius Toney. T's and P's to him, man. Like he's
Patrick
not
Mahomes.
going to get a good sleep till next
I
week.
don't want to say I was right.
Say it.
I was right. I
were
was
right.
right about
Great.
that. I was
Can
right
we
about
talk about?
that. They could start
You
off.
having a crystal ball?
They could start off 1-4 in the first 5. They could.
I don't like that. They could definitely be 0-2 though.
Jaguars. They could start off 0-2.
They could start off 0-2. You were saying that yesterday when we were eating some bad pizza. By the way, Chicago, not the best pizza in the world, but we were having some bad pizza, and you were talking about them starting 0-2. I didn't believe you. I saw the end of that game. I now believe you. Well, Compton's up to something.
Okay.
Well, Compton was right. And you didn't even have Wi-Fi on your flight, and you still knew you were right.
No, that getting here was a bit of a deal. However, we are here.
Yeah.
We made it. We all made it. Yeah, we all made it. We all made it. Let's get to the game of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. It's the Bills and the Jets. The Bills are favored by 2.5. And, of course, the Jets, all the talk in the offseason because Aaron Rodgers is now their quarterback. Dan, I have to know, we're going to get to Jerry in a second, but I have to know, are you a fan of Aaron Rodgers this year?
I'm a huge fan. I've never said a bad word about the guy.
Never.
Guy's a great guy, great teammate, takes less money, just a consummate teammate, consummate pro.
Enlightened.
Love all his, ideals. No vax. I actually went, when I found out he didn't do the vax, I was like, get this vax out of me. I love the guy. He's a role
That's the
model.
right move. That was the, I like that move.
So before we discuss this game, let's throw it to Jerry Edits.
Oh, look at that.
This is top-notch stuff.
Close game.
Yeah.
Very close
Wait till you see
game.
the second half.
Nice, fourth forward. Yep. Oh, this is the fourth quarter.
They didn't score.
The game didn't finish?
No scores in the second half.
So
Bills
14-7.
won. Bills. Put that in your brain.
Put that in your brain.
That was a great edit.
Jerry
That
Edits.
was phenomenal.
Jerry. What a hey.
That was
Jerry
great.
Edits.
Jerry Edits.
Send it like
Jerry
that.
Edits.
Now, some people were calling it Lucas edits.
Lucas helps.
How much does Lucas help?
He helps.
What
Is
percentage?
it Lucas edits?
So Lucas, me and Lucas go back circa 2023, sorry.
Wait, that's this year.
Yeah, we go back. And he's been training me to be an editor.
Got it. So did he edit that?
Yeah.
Lucas edits presented by Jerry.
Presented by Jerry.
Presented by
But
Jerry.
eventually it'll be Jerry Edits?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Well, once he learns, maybe?
No, I think Lucas is just editing it and sending it back to Jerry, and then Jerry sends it to Tom.
Yeah.
Gives him
And he's
some
like,
notes.
here's my Jerry edits.
Here's my Jerry.
Trying to take all the credit for the behind the scenes.
But it's presented by Jerry. Jerry's
Presented
the one
by
who makes
Jerry
the whole
Edits.
thing go around. Yeah.
As long as the screen says Jerry Edits, I love it.
Yeah.
The Lucas Edits presented by Jerry
Shout
Edits.
out Lucas.
So, Will, how much does that play into your actual thoughts of this Bills-Jets game?
Yeah, I like the Bills.
Okay.
Like I know everybody, it feels like people want to jump ship on the Bills just because
Isn't that crazy?
they've always been an explosive team in the regular season and they kind of fold in the playoffs, but they're still one of the best teams out there. And I can't bet against the boy Josh Allen.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Bills as well. I have a future on the Jets thanks to Jerry's gambling ghost in his house. So I have them to win the Super Bowl. Again, this is week one, not the full year. I think the Jets are going to be a good team this year. But I don't understand. It's all based on that Bengals playoff game, which was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible game for
They
the
got
Bills.
destroyed.
Right.
But the Bills were a 13-3 team last year, and their 3 losses were all very close, like the Vikings game, the Miami Heat game, the Jets game where Josh gets his elbow dinged up. The Bills are a phenomenal team.
Yeah.
So I think it's still new for the Jets. They're going to have some sloppy football. I'll trust the team that's been doing it for a few years in the Bills week one,
You say Miami Heat?
the Miami Heat.
How it got hot.
Do you remember how hot it was? They
Oh.
were dying on the sideline. The Miami Heat.
That's on
He's a
me.
Heat
professional.
in Miami.
not the basketball.
Yeah, you thought you got me.
Not the
No,
basketball.
no. You don't get
Here's
me.
my
I get
redemption
you.
The
story
weather.
right
Yeah,
here.
The
no,
weather,
no.
5
not
minutes into the
NBA
show.
team.
They're having a
No, but I agree. I agree with both of you. I think the Bills. I think the Bills win this game, and I think every year we're looking at ourselves saying like, "Oh, Josh Allen is the MVP after like 6 weeks." He's
Yeah.
like by far and away the MVP. He's going to show that. I don't think this is going to be. I think Jersey Edits knocked it out of the park because I don't think it's going to be a very high-scoring game at all.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I think we have 2 high-powered offenses. It's just like when the Bills played the Chiefs last year after being in the AFC Championship. Everyone's like, they're going to score 1 billion points, and then the game was truly like a defensive battle.
Yeah.
And that's what this game's going to be.
And one last thing, I do think the Jets are going to be very good this year.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers last year had a broken thumb, I think week 5 on, which doesn't really get talked about when you're talking about like, oh, is he falling off a cliff? That guy, when he has a chip on his shoulder, like he's going to be up in the MVP discussion.
He knows what's being said.
Is he one of your favorite players in the NFL now?
As of the last 4 months, whenever he officially signed with the Jets. Love the guy.
That's beautiful.
Love the guy.
And Wilson, he seems like
Garrett Wilson.
Oh,
Yes.
dude,
Right.
he's going to be a
those
dog.
Devontae Adams vibes out in Packers. I think that's
That's a little strong. It's a little strong.
It's strong. Do you like it?
but-
Take.
Bold takes in week 1.
Yeah.
Bold takes. So we have a new segment this year, Dan. I believe you came up with
It was
or
actually
it
Will.
Will.
Will's
Excuse me.
brain.
I was trying to give Dan your credit.
Will came up with it, and then when we were prepping for the show, he described it incorrectly. And I was
Oh.
like, you came up with this, dude.
So
I just needed that. That's the camaraderie, the chemistry we needed to be
it's
built.
the gotta have it pick of the week, which is, so what is it actually? Because is what I have the right description or the wrong description?
It's the gotta have it pick of the week.
GTHI.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
So what does
simply
that
that.
mean?
The GTHI gotta have it
tag
pick
me
of the
in?
week.
You wanna tag me?
Tag big.
All right,
Tag big cat in.
Tag me in. All right,
brother.
so the gotta have it pick of the week. It's a great idea by Will. Similar to last year when we did the I Believe with Dion. It's a team, a player, a coach, something. One person in the NFL or a full team in the NFL that has to have a win. Okay, so this is it's nut crunching time. They got to have a win. They got to have it, and that's how we're going to talk about some of these games.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I would not have. You did incredible with that explanation.
That's why he wanted you to
Yes.
tag
You're
him.
a pro.
He
You're a
was
pro.
very succinct in that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you
That
knew
was
it.
great.
You knew everything I said.
It was all,
I know,
it was
but
all
the way you
here.
It was
delivered
for the people at home.
Yeah.
It was all up here, but
Right,
you
right.
just needed him to translate it for
Right.
you. Okay, so Dan, we'll start with you. What's your gotta have?
Yeah,
pick of the
mine's
week?
very, very obvious. It's the Chicago Bears. My Bears, they have to have this game against the Packers. I've said it many, many times, and I know that it's going to burn me if things don't go well on Sunday, but it might be the biggest game in Bears franchise history because I know it's just week 1, but it's a new era for the Packers. They've gone back-to-back Hall of Fame quarterbacks the last, 25 years. Jordan Love making his first real start. He obviously started that COVID start in Kansas City when they put his family, remember they put his family on the way up on the moon? And they kept on showing him. He was all the way up there. Justin Fields, though, this is the year. You got DJ Moore. You got the weapons, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, okay.
Chase Claypool, former Steeler, he's not.
Okay. Chase Claypool, I think everyone
What
slots
sound
in well. They've beefed up. Offensive line, still a little bit of an issue, but they've done the right things to add some talent there. This is a gotta-have-it game for the Bears. I know that it's just week 1. I know I shouldn't overreact to
That's
a
a
game
tough
like this.
expectation.
I
Yeah,
that is
know
a
I
very tough
shouldn't
expectation.
react
New
like
era.
this.
You're like new era, and here you go.
No, I know I
They had
shouldn't.
the number 1 overall pick last year, and for whatever reason, the media is like, the Bears might be good this year. It's not going to happen.
They were, if we want to do loser talk like my guy Will here, they were probably the best 3-14 team of all time.
That's a page directly out of Will Compton's book.
Compton's
That is a
book.
page directly out of
It is.
I literally.
football players.
It
We
is.
talked about delusion.
Ain't no
delusion,
fun when the rabbit
delusion.
got the gun. I just copied you, my
All I'm
friend.
saying is Nebraska. That was
Don't
the
do it.
best
Don't do it.
3-1 team of
Don't
all
do
time.
it.
Back you
Don't
up.
do it. Don't do
The
it.
Bears got to have this game.
All right.
I'm very, very excited. I'm hyped for this game. It's going to mean a lot emotionally, but the Bears got to have it.
Dude, my heart goes out to you in that situation because Justin Fields, I'm a fan of him, but also, I don't think Ohio State's ever had a good, quarterback translate into the NFL.
Joe Burrow?
In 20 years. No, he's not at Ohio State.
He went.
He's not
Where'd he go?
Ohio State.
Where'd he go to
He's
college
LSU.
first?
He was there and he had a
Where'd he go to
transfer.
college
He went to
first?
Ohio State first.
Okay.
But did he come out of there?
I'm just
Fun
saying.
fact,
He actually.
Joe Burrow, greatest quarterback that has ever wanted to go to Nebraska and didn't get offered.
Okay. That's not a fun. That's not a fun fact.
That's not. That's
a
a
nugget.
It's not a fun fact.
That's a nugget. Best 3-14 team of all time.
I get it. Ohio State quarterbacks, maybe not.
They haven't panned out the best. They
that's
they
okay.
haven't
But
panned out the
it's-
best.
He was playing well.
Right, he had a
Back
good.
half of last year.
No, there's no doubt. I don't want to put those demons on him, but there is that looming over his head. That's probably when he goes to sleep at night. If we're talking about dreams and nightmares, that's one of the nightmares he's having.
But it is Dan's God-given right to be very high on the Bears every single year.
I have to go faith. I've just blind faith with this Bears.
have to.
I know there's holes, but you got to go blind faith. What do you guys have in the game?
We're
all gonna pick
game.
these
That
games
game or
too.
GTHI?
No, we're gonna pick
The game.
these.
Pick the game,
So
yeah.
got to have it. I introduce a game, and then you guys make your picks as well on that game. Then Will introduces a game, then we make our picks on that game. It's
Yes.
a different way to talk about a
Got
game.
you. So I have to pick this game now?
Yeah.
I'm going to go the exact opposite of you. I'm going to take the Packers.
I knew you would.
And that's it.
I'm taking Packers.
And that's all I have
Okay,
to
I knew
say.
you
Damn.
would. Good.
Hey, I feel like it's a hang on.
I don't think they're going to be very bad. I don't think they're going to lose. They're going to win more than 3
Fuel
games.
is fire. Fuel is fire.
Massive mistake in
I
the
feel
first
like I'm
round
in a
too.
win-win situation because I'm also rooting for you. I want you to have a good year, but I do think the Packers, now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, Jordan Love, it gets to be his team. It gets to be LaFleur's team. They got some weapons on defense. I like the Packers.
How does it feel, Dan? The boys are against you in week 1.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I like it. I like
I'm not Dan. I'm
Listen,
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
Jerry.
You. You've always been a Justin
Jerry, you're on the
Fields
Bears?
believer. You've always been
I'm
a
taking the
Justin
Bears
Fields
this week.
believer.
Yeah.
You Bears?
Yeah.
All that traffic in Chicago, you're taking the Bears?
Yeah, me and Justin are friends, so yeah.
Did he ever respond?
See, that's exactly why the Bears aren't going to win.
Jerry
Why? Because
checked
they're
in with him
friends with
last
Jerry?
Just because, no, you just can't make picks based on because I'm friends with these guys.
No, you can. Yeah, you can.
Yes, you
100% can. Yes, that's
No.
what. Do you think I'm doing research, bro?
Yeah, I think you're a confident pro. I think you look into things a lot.
No.
He's a pro.
I'll bet
You're an
a
absolute
game
pro,
based on
Dan.
uniform.
Dan, you're so good at
a
your
dead
job.
mascot. I'll bet that. There's no reason.
You just bet ridiculous because you love to bet. We had that conversation back in
If
like
Big
June.
Cat and I are on the gridiron, you're not rooting for our team and saying we're
No, I'll root for you guys, but if I had to put a gun to my head and pick a team, I'm going to pick the better team, and the better team's probably the Packers.
That's insane.
And you look at the history of just their quarterbacks the last
There's bad
50,000
history.
years.
Yeah, no, there's bad history.
Okay, Will, your gotta have it pick of the week.
The commies. Washington Commanders, new ownership, sold out crowd. EB is calling the plays. They're all in on Sam Howell. I'm all in on Sam Howell. A lot of, the commies gotta have it this weekend. They have to have it.
Yeah.
It's a big week for the city. It's a big week for the team. And I'm telling you, if they win and they're playing an Arizona team, Dobbs, he just showed up last week. It seems like there's headlines that are they trying to tank? They gave away Isaiah Simmons for a coupon. It's like they should win this game, and it's going to inject energy into that city, which is what they need, and confidence into that locker room. And I'm telling you right now, Washington Commanders have a shot at the NFC East.
Whoa.
What a speech.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you really believe that? Do you agree with that?
I agree with him.
go.
I think the Commanders have the question mark is obviously the quarterback because I think their roster is stacked. They have great wide receivers. They got a great defensive line. Like they have some really, really like blue chip type players. It's just can Sam Howell be the guy?
Yeah. And everybody.
But this pick is more against the Cardinals than it is for the Commanders, at least week 1. I just think the Cardinals, they have a stink of worst team in the NFL.
They're
Dumpster
never
fire.
going to be good. The Cardinals are going to be a terrible football team this year. They're going to have the first overall pick. They're going to be fucking awful.
Yeah.
But I'm with you on this. The Washington Commanders. I don't know about winning the NFC East. It's probably the most stacked division right now.
It's a tough division, yes.
It's a tough division. I think they're going to be a hell of a lot better, maybe fighting for a playoff spot at the end. But I'll definitely take Washington with the spread, everything.
The Eagles have a very tough back half of the schedule, and that's why, I do think they're the best
Yeah,
roster.
you did bring that up.
But based on the back half of their schedule, who they're playing, and everything else, I think it's going to be like a tough November, December for them. Easier for the Commanders.
Taylor, your gotta have it pick of the week.
GTHI, baby. I'm going to go with the
GTHI.
Atlanta Falcons -3.5 over the Panthers. There's a couple reasons why. One, Arthur Smith is my favorite coach in the entire NFL. The guy's absolutely phenomenal, but you get into year 3 as a head coach, you find yourself in a situation where it's a boom or bust. Like you got to win, or you're probably in one of those situations where you're looking for a new job. And I know that this division, the NFC South, there was like an 18-way tie. And at the end of the season, everyone was 7-10, but Panthers have an insurance policy of the number 1 overall pick, which is why I think the Falcons are going to win this game. Is you really have no idea what's going to happen. They're either going to win by 4, or they're going to win by 50. You really don't know what's going to happen with the Falcons winning that game. So I got the Falcons -3.5.
Dan?
I'm surprised you're not going with your boys in Tennessee.
No, see, I've kind of said this. Tennessee scares me. Betting in general, just playing, and then when I was playing, people being like, "Hey, how are you guys going to be this week?" Because every game we should win, we never did.
Right.
And every game we were supposed to get blown out by, we all of a sudden win by 14 points. So it's that's a game I would just truly stay away from.
Yeah.
Until I really figure out what's going on with the Titans culture right now.
I like Taylor's pick here. I think the Falcons are going to be frisky. They were frisky last year. And I think that running attack is going to pound people down. And the Panthers, I'm a long-term believer in Bryce Young, but I think he's going to struggle this year because there's just not a lot there for him.
I think it's a great way of putting it.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge Bryce Young based just on this year. Like the DJ Moore trade, that hurts. I saw Justin Fields last year not have guys to throw to, and you have DJ Moore, who's a phenomenal wide receiver, leave the building, go to the Bears. I just think Bryce Young is going to struggle.
Do you think Bryce Young is going to struggle as long as he's with this team, or do you think he'll eventually be okay just somewhere else?
I think they'll build it back up, and they had moments last year where they were able to find themselves, but I think it's just going to be hard for a rookie quarterback on a little bit of a depleted roster, not a ton of talent on the outside. So it will be tough this year, but I'm a long-term believer in Bryce Young.
I agree with all that.
Yeah.
I think Arthur Smith, he now has, with adding Bijan Robinson, I think he's going to nut all over the league this year. I think Patterson, Kyle Pitts, I like the Falcons. Yeah, I roll with all that stuff.
Okay.
And Arthur Smith, too.
And Arthur Smith.
I love Arthur
Obviously,
Smith.
yeah.
His
Got a little-
mustache.
he's got a little like shit to him right now. Too.
He has the mustache.
The mustache. He kind of popped on that reporter, the Joker position. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Good vibes.
Hell yes.
Get to the rapid fire games of the week presented by Body Armor. Jerry is going to come make sure the boys are hydrated. We've got a water boy this year, fellas.
Oh, Jerry.
Jerry.
Jerry's just a
come on.
Swiss Army knife, man.
I mean, he can do
Except
it
for
all.
edits.
Well,
Yeah, well, he's
but he's
learning.
trying. He's
learning that
trying.
trade.
He
He's
is
that
learning.
trade.
So we love Body Armor. It's the official water of Barstool Sports. If you walk into our office, there's just Body Armor bottles everywhere, available in stores nationwide. Head on over to Body Armor store on Amazon. Get yours today. They've got the sports drinks, the hydration. They've got it all. Jerry.
Jerry, you got to be quick, brother.
Yeah, I'm
passing them out. You're
trying to
sat
fill,
next to
fill
each
some
other.
water up here.
I want to give him his moment before we
his
start
first-
talking about
it's
games.
his first
but
time, too. He's only
doesn't
gonna
wanna
get faster.
spill it.
Thank
He
you.
doesn't want to spill it. Thank you, Jerry.
Jerry,
Thank
this is
you.
like
Body Armor.
barely half full.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yo, that's
coming out slow.
amazing.
Yes.
Came out
Body
Jerry, I
Armor
need a
is
little bit more?
delicious.
Yep.
Keep coming, boys.
Yeah, keep the Body Armor coming. So rapid fire games, you know what? Just keep it. Jerry's spilling water all over this floor, everywhere.
Dude, he's the best.
It's like when you go to a restaurant and you see the waitress trying to pour out of the pitcher and it just goes everywhere. That's Jerry behind me right now. So we're just going to keep it moving while he does this. We're going to start with the Texans and the Ravens. The Ravens favored by 9.5. Will, I will start with you. What are you thinking about this game? And remember, we are picking against the spread here, not just straight up.
For that reason, I'm going to have to pass.
Well, no, you have to make it.
Listen, I
It's
get
rapid
you get
fire.
it.
You have to pick.
You're picking against a spread,
You
right?
have to pick.
Yes.
Dude.
Okay.
What are you talking
I'm gonna
about?
go.
Pass?
I'm gonna go.
What was that? I've never seen a pass.
He did that on S&P as well.
I'm gonna go Houston.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
You like
Houston.
CJ Stroud?
The spread scares me. I don't like the 9.5. I think Ravens have question marks on defense. I know they have OBJ and Zay Flowers and they have some weapons, but nothing is being said about Houston right now, which actually puts a little fear in my heart. I like Coach Ryans as their new head coach. I'm going with Houston.
Good job.
Houston
You made a pick there.
Yeah.
I actually agree
Houston with the
you.
points. Houston with the points.
I think the Ravens are going to have a very good year. I think their offense is going to be explosive, but 9.5 feels like, no one's giving them a chance. This could be a touchdown game.
Yeah, college football maybe, but not in the NFL. I'm going with you guys with Houston.
Okay.
It's supposed to be rapid fire, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Bengals and Browns. The Bengals favored by 2. Dan.
I love the Browns this week. And again, this is not an indictment on the Bengals overall. I think the Bengals are one of the best teams in the NFL. They will be there at the end of the season. I just look back. Joe Burrow last year misses training camp with an appendectomy, comes out, loses to the Steelers, 4 interceptions. Same thing this year, gets an injury, misses most of training camp. That matters. It has to matter, right? Like not having no practice reps with your guys. You come out week 1. Browns are a loaded roster as well. I just think that, like I said, the Bengals are going to be a 11, 12-win team. I just don't know if it's going to be this week.
Yeah, how much does that matter? I mean, obviously, from like people who didn't play in the NFL, we're like, that has to matter. Him missing training camp, Joe Burrow again.
Depends on the individual,
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, if you look at Derrick Henry, he always plays really well. I don't think he's ever practiced once in training camp.
But
so.
that's a little different, running back, quarterback. Again, it's
fair.
it's
Yeah,
just
that's
like
fair.
the game.
But also
And you have
quarterback-
some history from last year bringing it in.
Yeah, and that's good. I don't have that kind of. I don't have those kind of receipts to go and fight that
yeah.
battle right now. But quarterback also is a big time mental game.
True.
It's a big time mental game where you don't necessarily need to be super physical about it. He could just be in the lab cooking it up on the PowerPoint.
He just got paid.
Yeah, he just got broke
Big
off,
time.
which might weigh him down a little bit, and that could cause them to lose to the Browns. I'm going to take Cincinnati, though. I think they're just the better team. Deshaun Watson, I think he's too horny to win in week 1. He's got to figure it out, so I'm going to go Cincinnati.
Will?
I agree. Even though that was great research.
It was phenomenal. It scared me.
Joey B is somebody who also learns from the past, and I think he'll understand that he needed to, whether it's stay sharper during training, whatever he needed to do, the kid plays chess by himself before and after practice. I'm going with the Bengals, minus 2.5, 3.5, whatever it is, with the points.
-2.
Jags and Colts. The Jags favored by 4.5. Taylor?
I'm going Jacksonville. I mean, they could very well win the AFC South. Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis, you don't know what's going to happen there. There's just too many question marks in Indianapolis to really feel like we know where they're at right now. And I know that Jacksonville's got a whole lot of firepower. Calvin Ridley, Calvin Ridley, he's back.
He is back.
And he's all in a true gambling fashion. He said he's going to make back all the money he lost on. So I expect him to have a big game. I expect them to win that game with the points.
I know this is a pro football show, but we have talked a lot about college football. Anthony Richardson being drafted where he was and having all this hype still is so bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's a wild
Upside.
deal. Is all those backflips at his pro day.
I'm rooting
Must be what it must be.
The athlete in him, it's incredible to see.
upside.
I mean,
Yeah.
he
A lot of upside.
The whole thing with him at Florida was just like, this kid's not this good at all, and then he goes out and gets drafted 4th, and it's like, what is
know. It's so
happening?
I'm rooting
Weird.
for him.
No, there's no
Florida
question
sucks,
you're
though,
rooting
you
for
know
him.
what I
You
mean?
want everybody to do well.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it
I can't
doesn't.
make sense of it. Okay, Dan, who are you taking?
You can sense a trend here, but division dogs at home, I'm going to take the Colts. I don't know what to expect from Anthony Richardson, but I just think these teams always play each other tight. I think the Jaguars don't win week 1 games. I think they also struggle with the Colts, so I'll take the Colts plus 4.5.
There's a new culture in Jacksonville.
This is a new Jacksonville team. I like Jacksonville. Yeah, I think so. I
Okay,
actually,
if you look at their
have
season
them.
last year, they kind of like they were sputtering, and they had a couple games where the ball bounced their way. And then remember, I mean, you guys remember, they were a quarter away from not even making the playoffs with
Right.
Josh Dobbs. They're fighting for their life against Josh Dobbs.
right,
at
but
home.
when
Yeah,
you
they have more firepower. There's whispers.
Okay.
the comeback that they had, like
I think
learning how
we're-
to win when the game gets tight. Peterson with Lawrence,
Similar to the Bills getting underrated because of the poor performance against the Bengals last year in the playoffs. I think the Jags are getting overrated for sticking it out with the Chiefs in that divisional game.
Well, also the Chargers game too.
Yeah, no, the Chargers.
that
Well, that's
Chargers
the
game
Chargers.
was
The
wild.
Chargers just charger themselves.
I know, but coming back from that point deficit,
Yeah,
the wild card,
yeah.
that's pretty wild.
I got Jags coming out as the 1 seed.
Whoa.
Wow.
I think
That is a wild
Here's
thing.
why I think number one, I think they're a
Schedule?
good football team in schedule. They're in the AFC South, which I think is lighter than it has been in years past, and they're playing the NFC South for their conference opponents. So I just feel like their schedule is favorable to have that lead and to come out with a 1 seed on top.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Jacksonville.
Let's go. We figured.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, we know.
Jacksonville, and also like home games in Indy it's a weird time. That is the most trained fan base in all of the NFL.
PFT and I are season ticket holders.
Well, there you go.
What does that mean?
For the Colts.
No, what does that mean? Train fan.
Trained, like when Peyton Manning was there, like literally when the Indianapolis Colts are on the field, their offense is on the field, you can literally hear a pin drop. It's that quiet. It is so quiet during that game, but it's not very loud when the defense is on. It's a weird environment that is not gonna have a
kind of
massive
odd.
effect. It's very odd.
It's very odd for a
good
football
nugget.
game.
Hey,
Yeah,
nice
it is.
check. That's a nice.
Yeah.
That's a good nugget.
Yeah,
it
no,
was.
I never even
Just
knew.
making sure. I saw your camera guy laugh, and I was just making sure you weren't saying something over there.
I didn't know what a
I was just making
train
sure.
fan base was.
I was just making sure.
That's smart.
What did you think a trained fan base was?
I thought it had something to do with
Pittsburgh
train.
Steelers are a
Yeah,
trained
he
fan
was
base.
thinking train. He was thinking train.
Oh, they're thinking,
Actual train.
I thought they had been like
like,
the
There's a train that
Like
goes
fans
through the
coming
city.
out of the
what kind of
like,
train?
yeah, okay.
Speaking of, dude,
Very literal.
speaking of, I don't want to pivot here, but like our hotel last night, there was a train running by our hotel the whole entire night. They
We
did
gotta
that,
get you
Chicago?
a new hotel. We gotta get you a new
Not
hotel.
me. I love it.
Will lives
My
next to a train
backyard
tracks.
is a train track.
Really?
Wild.
So I'm built.
It is
I've stayed
wild.
at that hotel.
I'm
I
built
did
for
not
the train.
notice that. So
You didn't notice that?
No.
JP, you noticed that, right? It was crazy.
It is a big city.
It's a very
maybe
large
it's because
city.
I live
Go
in
to
New York, so I'm used
and
to it.
be next to a train.
Yeah.
Do they have trains there? I think
Yeah.
everything's underground, right?
That's true. That
Everything's
is a lot of
underground.
What do you think the
underground.
next game is, Kayce?
I know exactly what it is, Will. It is the Bucks and the Vikings. The Vikings favored by 5. Well, I'll just start with you.
Vikings. I like the Vikings. People are talking a lot about the Lions. I mean, they are a good football team. I think the NFC North is one of the better divisions in the NFL this year. But I like the Vikings. Wes Phillips, Kevin O'Connell, year 2. Kirk, Madison, I think he's ready to take a jump with Cook being gone. I like the Vikings.
Dan, you were shaking your head there.
I mean, listen, obviously my team's in the NFC North. They're not one of the best divisions in football.
That's okay. We can
Yeah.
disagree.
Yeah, no, they're not though.
They are.
No, they're not. They're not in the top 3. You would AFC East, AFC North, NFC East. Those are the 3 best divisions in football.
Say it again.
AFC East, AFC North, NFC East. Those are the 3 best divisions in football.
He's got a point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to try to come with something, and there was
No, that was he was on top of
You
it.
watch that. You watch those numbers above his head.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, okay.
Computing all of it.
They're a
Vikings.
fine
Zach
division. They're
Galifianakis.
just
I was
not
like,
one.
Allen on the hand.
Hey, listen.
When you think best division, you think like multiple Super Bowl contenders, and those three divisions have multiple Super Bowls.
Here's where we're going to get it back around. Vikings are going to come out on top of that division. Lions are getting in the playoffs, and I think the Packers will be scrapping, similar to the Steelers, to get in there, to get three teams into the playoffs. That's why I think it's a
Mental note.
Which division?
top five division.
Top five there. So I was going to say, if you're going to put in the top three,
five.
which division would you
It's
take?
a top
out?
8 division.
Yeah, there's 8.
You
There's
can't
8.
argue with that. It's
Can't
a top
argue
8
with
division.
That's top-notch stuff.
Dan, what do you?
Minnesota, you got? Who you got?
I got Tampa Bay, +5. I think
Oh,
Can we be on the same squad for?
we had a couple.
The
We had a
beginning of the
couple.
show, we were all kind of on the
Yeah,
same.
we had a
it's-
couple.
it's
Listen,
fair.
it's the
Once the
points.
Bears pick happened, everything's kind of.
I think the
Dan's
Bucks.
feeling backed into a corner. He's
No,
voting against
I honestly, this is my honest opinion. I think the Bucks are going to be obviously not what they were with Tom Brady, but I think they're going to have a little life to them. They still got a ton of dudes.
So you-
Levante David.
Tampa
I
Bay's
know,
dead.
I
There
know.
you go.
They're dead.
Is there ever going to be a year that you just think like Baker Mayfield, like I can't pick him anymore?
He's got great receivers now. I mean, Mike Evans is the best receiver you ever played with. That's a factual statement. I know
he play with
Can he
Cooper
throw the
Kupp
ball
last
to him though?
well, he's a backup.
No, he started.
And also, Mike Evans is better than Cooper Kupp. Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer.
No.
Yes.
gotta give
Cooper Kupp's
more
better than Mike
time.
Evans.
Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer.
That's not.
Is-
That's
No one's arguing that.
Is Cooper
No one's
Kupp a
arguing
Hall of
that.
Famer?
Probably.
One day.
Okay, but he's got a lot of years to have to put to
right.
stack up.
To do what he's doing,
Put it like this.
looking like that,
Playing
He's
with
not on the field.
Cooper Kupp last year is better than Mike Evans this year.
Yeah, but also Baker Mayfield, how long did he play? What was it, 3 games?
Enough to
Okay,
go
all
in
right.
and
You know what?
get-
I'll give it.
Have to see it.
You're right. Cooper Kupp last year better than Mike Evans this year. That's a factual statement.
I feel like
Taylor, who you taking?
I feel like you were right about once that Bears pick happened, Dave fell backed into a corner, and now we're duking it out. So because of that, whatever Dave says on the next team, next bracket, I will go with Dave on that. Whatever Dave says in the next one, I'll go with that on that. But I'm going to go Minnesota on this one for all the reasons.
Really, it's the best roster in college football.
One comment. One comment, we're going to get
Right
mad
out the
about it.
gate.
Like no one's
Right
ever
out
made a
the
mistake
gate.
before.
I'm sorry.
It
It was the first steal right out the gate. You're right.
Taylor,
You're right.
You refer to him as Dave too.
No, he did that the
Dan.
second time he did that on purpose.
I say Dan or
because
Dave?
He fucked up
No,
the first time, and then he's like, let
you've been
me
saying
fuck up
Dave,
again to be like,
but it's
this is
okay.
Dude,
what
I'll
I'm
tell you
doing on
what.
purpose.
It's
That
okay.
train last night in my
Just up to your sleep.
right? Got to get my sleep.
Sleep deprivation's real. I just
Dan,
had-
Dave, I'll never
having
be invited
Jerry-
back. Dave, who you taking?
Having Jerry back here going, "Who's Dave?" over and over was really just throwing me off.
That's crazy.
Okay, next game, the Titans and the Saints. Taylor, I'll start with you.
No, start with Dan.
All right, yeah, we'll be on the
Okay.
same side this
Okay,
one.
the
I
Saints-
do think the Titans. I like the Titans in this game.
Thank God.
I think the
I agree.
Titans are. We're going to get to my opinions later, but
Okay.
I'm high on the Titans this year.
Yeah.
Titans across the board, fellas.
Yeah, I'm going
Yeah, I'm
Titans.
gonna go.
Okay, I was like, come on, for the boys, for the boys.
I'm going.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
a scary pause there.
That
I thought we
was-
lost you
Well,
for a second.
I think for a second, like the Saints, they got a shot to compete for the NFC South, and I think like Derek Carr, fresh start. I'm telling you, getting out of that 9-year career that he had in with the Raiders organization. Now that he's got a breath of fresh air, he could look a little bit
So are
different.
you going to
Okay.
take them or are you going to?
I
with
was
the
sort of
boys.
talking to myself into the Saints, but also my loyalty. You know, I do have to have it with the two-tone blue, although I did help change the culture a little bit in New Orleans.
Okay. The Raiders and the Broncos. Dan, Broncos favored by 3.5.
I'm taking the Broncos here. I think the Raiders are going to be bad this year, and I also like, Will and I were talking about it earlier, but these early September games, mile high, hot weather, the Broncos, it's a big home advantage. Like, you don't get
It's a
home
good
advantage
point.
a lot. So I like the Broncos here. I also think Sean Payton is going to have a very dialed-in game plan for Russell Wilson. Be like, look, I'm fixing this guy, so I'm going to take the Broncos.
Taylor?
All great points because Mile High Stadium is hell regardless of the time of the year, but especially when it's hot, it's miserable.
Yep.
I think Russell Wilson's dead. I think the time he was most dangerous was when he was able to evade and get out of the pocket and move around. I think he's getting a little bit older. He's showing that he's not as mobile as he was before.
Sean Payton ever coach
Sean
short
Payton-
quarterback?
Yeah, but you're going to say Drew Brees and
I'm just
Russell
saying.
Wilson are the same
No,
football
I'm
players?
just saying he's coached a short quarterback before. He can't.
I'm not
Russell
worried about.
Wilson,
I never once did I say anything about a short quarterback.
I'm just saying.
I just said he was better when he could get out of the pocket. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I think the Raiders are going to win this game.
My point is.
I think the Raiders are sleepers in the AFC West, especially what we saw on Thursday Night Football. I'm going with the Raiders
point
on
is
this whole
Sean
thing.
Payton coached a short quarterback that couldn't get out of the pocket. Now he's coaching a short quarterback that can't get out of the pocket.
But I think we're talking about two different brains.
Of course.
Russell
But I'm
Wilson
just
You
saying.
starting to buy the stock, the silver and black?
You know I've kind of been high on the silver and black this year.
You going with
I don't
that?
think as highly of them as you do, but I do think highly of the silver and black.
So you're taking the Raiders.
I'm taking the Raiders. I think that they have a better roster. I think Sean Payton is a stud. I just don't know any time Russ has had to be a pocket quarterback. He doesn't have the Drew Brees ability.
Yeah.
And to your
agree with
point, but playing a mile high,
He talks and I say yeah.
playing a mile high, you are correct. A few years ago, I don't want to talk about my career, but I'll go ahead and do it. When I got signed to the Titans, 10 days before the season, Rashawn Evans.
You got a pillow or something?
I'm on the sideline. Time out. To your point.
moment.
To your point. Signed 10 days before. I was in the locker room before the game. I tell Rashawn Evans and Jayon Brown, hey, this is not the game to get hurt in because I do not. It's dicey out there in that outfield.
I like that.
Rashawn Evans, very first drive, punches the tight end in the face. I'm literally talking to myself, shit, here we go. Got to put the helmet on. And by the second half, my legs are shaking like a dog shitting peach sheets. I needed to get out.
I like that you warned him, like, hey, don't fuck around. Sure enough, he did.
Yeah, like I don't.
That was one of the most miserable games of all time.
No doubt.
Dog.
No doubt.
2020.
Early
Yeah.
September.
But I'm going Raiders with the points.
It's hard to
I like
just
the Raiders this
walk in Denver, let alone
Yeah.
play football. So
Yeah.
can't imagine. All right, Dolphins and Chargers. Taylor, the Chargers favored by 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Chargers on this. It's a long flight, and I think the Chargers. We were in LA, and we had an opportunity to talk to some of those players. They seem very dialed in. I think both teams are really good. This game, I know I kind of said it the opposite with the Bills and the Jets. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Chargers walk away with it, though.
Dan?
Yeah, I agree on the high scoring. I'll take the Chargers as well. I just think that, you get the Chargers week 1, they're all healthy. There'll be a moment where everyone on the Chargers will get hurt, and then you can start fading them, but not week 1. They're ready to go.
Will?
I like that. I'm with you guys.
I love that.
Chargers.
I
like
love
the
it.
Chargers.
Love it.
Everybody's together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
And
Right.
fan of Eric Kendricks in the middle.
Every time we're all together, it's guaranteed loss.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's, when you have
This
the
is our
graphics.
first time together, though.
But when
I
you have
know.
the graphics.
That's how it always works.
No.
If we all are
Like if you see a
confident about
graphic
something,
like that, you know.
Worst thing you can say in gambling is
Easy
always a
fade.
never.
Who you
It's
taking, Jersey?
easy. Dolphins now. Easy. Yeah,
Dolphins.
easy.
I don't understand the travel part. I mean, I know you guys were players and stuff, but how does the travel really?
Dude, you get on an airplane.
Because when I get on an
How you
airplane,
get on that
when I get on an airplane and I travel somewhere, I feel like myself the same day.
Yeah, but you're not also, Jared,
And also,
you're not running around
time
for
out,
60 minutes
time
doing
out,
plays.
Time out. That is not true. Jerry is so scared of flying.
I'm
He
scared of
texted
flying,
me-
yes.
He thinks that they invented turbulence during COVID.
That's a fact.
So the guy is lying right now.
That's a fact.
Think about it. Kayce, listen. A couple
I'm
years
listening.
ago, pre-COVID,
listen.
you travel a lot.
A ton.
Did you
yes.
ever feel turbulence years ago?
Yes.
I never have.
Yes. I feel like I remembered
But then
turbulence
COVID
my entire
happened,
life.
and then now the planes shake. No?
No.
Jerry, if you get on
This,
a flight,
he doesn't actually think that, right?
you travel. Every hour you travel, you're losing a liter of fluid. If you don't drink a whole lot of fluid, yes, you're depleted. Inflammation, the gravity, the pull, the G's when you're pulling up are pulling down to your lower extremities, brother. That's a lot to
Flying
work
in
through.
the
The flying in the air,
How
the
tired your arms
turbulence.
get.
I feel like the same person when I land.
Jerry, did you fly before COVID?
Dude, you're
Yeah,
you're
dude.
him though.
Yeah,
You're him.
You're built different.
You're built different.
That bully
it.
mentality.
Yeah. Was it bully dog?
No question. No question. No question.
He is him.
You're him.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Eagles and Patriots. Dan, Eagles favored by 4.
Yeah, this is another one where I think the Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC, but there's something about this line where
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
everyone thinks that the Patriots are going to suck really bad. I don't think they're going to be that good because they're playing in one of the top 3 divisions. But Mac Jones has a real offensive coordinator this year. I'll take the Patriots +4.
Will?
Eagles -4. I think they're loaded.
I have a feeling I'm going to lose every pick.
You might. You're definitely gonna lose that one.
I've been
You're
doing
definitely
a
gonna lose
lot
that
of
one.
underdogs, and it's scaring the fuck out of me.
Are
I
we
know you're
keeping
like
records?
division dog.
Yeah, dude, it's
and
bad.
you're also picking like the best teams to lose.
As always, I reserve my right to flip all my picks on Sunday morning.
So we're going to have the
Just
records.
do the whole flip. Just the card, flip it.
I'm going Eagles. If you guys listen, I'm going Eagles. Just go ahead and put me up on a little
Problem is
sheet.
I already took the
a little
Patriots
thing.
and Advisors, and I took them in another show.
Well,
so
that's-
Flip it here. Head your bet.
yeah, that's true. I should just start doing counter picks.
So whenever we have the records every week, it's what you actually pick on Sunday, not this show?
No, it'll be what I pick. But I do reserve the right to do the full card flip. I won't flip a single game.
Okay.
It'll either be all or nothing.
Okay.
So timeout. Let me get this straight. Your picks here are going to be different than.
No. My picks are consistent. I'm saying that if I wake up Sunday and feel a different way, I'm just like flip the whole card, flip the whole fucking.
Every single game is.
I won't
opposite.
go like, oh, I want this one instead of this one or that one. It's either all or nothing.
But
Flip the whole
say
card.
You have the right to do either one of those things.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the
not going to do the
record-
nitpicky stuff.
the
I'm gonna
record-
flip the whole card.
The record that shows up on the show needs to be what's said on the show.
Unless
No,
I
it's not.
announce that I'm flipping the whole card. I will make it very clear. I'll tag you in the tweet. It will be a very clear announcement that I'm flipping. I probably won't flip the whole card. I probably will only flip the whole card like once all year. But if it happens, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right.
As long as you get a heads up before kickoff, is that okay?
It will be well before kickoff.
Okay, and it has to be established.
Has to
It
be at
has
least
to be
90 minutes
established.
before
Yes,
kickoff.
dude. I'm not going to be like, oh, I actually flipped my whole card. Don't worry.
It's not going to be in the middle of games.
It
You'll
will
know.
be well known.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, and the last game, the Rams at the Seahawks. Taylor, Seahawks favored by 4.5.
Yeah, I'm scared of this game. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on. Is it Geno Smith, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sold on him. I know he made a Pro Bowl last year. I think.
What is it about Geno?
I don't know. It's like he was a journeyman for a little bit. He was bouncing around. Then all of a sudden he gets to it with a really good coach and Pete Carroll, and he had a great season. But also it's like, does that just happen once? Can you do it multiple times? I'm not 100% sold on him. I think Sean McVay's a phenomenal coach. I think two great coaches going at it. But like, are the Rams dead? Because they were doing great, and then
Let me
all of a
help you out.
sudden,
Yes.
See, but you also literally just went on a tangent about saying you're going to lose every one of your picks. So why?
Also,
am I
yes.
Yeah.
Also,
so now I'm
yes.
going to listen to you.
Also, yes.
This one scares me.
Which one do you believe?
I know. What a fun time. Literally, if I had to pick one, which I have to because I'm
Yes.
literally on the show right now, I'm taking Seattle minus 4.5. And my biggest reason is going to be they're playing in Seattle.
Okay, Will?
Rams.
Okay.
Rams
Okay.
McVay.
I'm taking Seattle. I think the Rams are going to be very bad this year.
We needed this though. We can't go full Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's good.
The Rams are very bad. Okay, another news segment, Dan. Is this from your
Yes.
brain or is this from Will's brain?
This is my brain.
Okay, so this is the 3 bad opinions.
I got 3 bad
presented
opinions.
By Big Cat.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You guys can
Agree
go
or
off it.
disagree?
Yeah. And also, Will, this will be something that if you want to do it one week, you're like, hey, I got some bad opinions. Like your whole NFC North, one of the best divisions. Like that would
I
have
mean,
been perfect.
BC, time will tell.
That would have been
time
perfect.
will tell. Time
Right.
will tell.
But I'm just saying, like 3 bad opinions, you can have that. So these are my 3 bad opinions.
Okay.
Number 1, I think the Tennessee Titans are going to win the AFC South. Bad opinion?
Bad opinion.
Oh!
And
against your
listen,
boys.
I'm not.
All right, here, I'll talk to you because he doesn't like the Titans.
Yo, I like the Titans. Don't do that. Hey, Fred.
Here's my reasoning on my bad opinion. I think that this is a perfect Vrabel year where everyone is like, the Titans are transitioning, guys are getting old, like all this stuff is happening, the Jags are next up. That's when the Titans do this. The Titans don't play well when they are like, everyone look out for the Titans, they're the best team in the AFC. No, they play well when no one believes in them. So that's why I'm thinking this is the year.
Brother, you just sold me on
Yeah.
that. Because I am scared. Here's the thing that is like my little insurance policy is if they get hurt again like last year, first off, you got to wipe out everybody there.
You go back in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
got
God,
done dirty.
was that
got
not
done
terrible?
Dirty.
Was that
yeah,
not a
that was
terrible moment?
terrible.
Literally, you can't have the most injuries in the entire NFL 3 years in a row.
Right.
It can't happen 3 years in a row.
Right.
I think Vrabel, you're right. Vrabel does
This is
better
his
when
type
no
of
one can,
thing.
when everybody thinks Vrabel can't do it, and he's literally somewhere right now smoking a jewel, thinking to himself, they'll all see.
Yes,
They're all gonna see.
Yes, I'll get the last laugh.
I don't hate it.
So put me down.
I don't hate it. Call me a homer. I don't hate it.
So it's not a bad opinion.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's actually a really good opinion.
Will thinks it's a
Will
bad
thinks-
opinion,
okay.
but yeah.
I'm gonna say bad opinion.
Okay, all right.
Bad opinion.
But you can't tell me. You
I
can't
think-
tell me.
hang on. I
When
think
Dan was talking to you, thought to yourself, man, it's good points.
Make a lot of points.
There's a lot of
There's no
points.
doubt, but they're also a team that's going to be built to try and go, what is it, 10-7, 10-7? Try to scrape in and get into the playoffs?
Yeah, but
9-8?
Yeah, they could win the division 10 and 7.
Yeah, they could
But they
absolutely-
won't, though. I think
Okay,
the
okay,
Jaguars.
okay.
I got the Jaguars taking.
How many games are the Jaguars going to win?
I don't know, fucking more than 10.
Okay. All right. All right. Bad opinion number 2. The
I don't know, fucking.
representative from the NFC in the Super Bowl will not be the Philadelphia Eagles or San Francisco 49ers.
Say that again.
The representative from the NFC will not be the Philadelphia Eagles or the San Francisco 49ers.
Do you have who it will be?
No. It's a bad opinion, though. But I've been thinking about it. Like, it seems like, because how we talk, I'm just thinking about counter thoughts. AFC, stacked. NFC, everyone's like, well, it's the Niners and the Eagles, and everyone else kind of sucks. And
They got some good
is that
teams
true?
out there.
Like, is that true?
No.
Is there a team
It's
that we're
not a-
not seeing right now
Like-
that could come out of there?
Yes, Jerry.
That's a bad
Vikings are in
opinion.
my head too.
I like
Bad
Kirk Cousins.
opinion? I think that
you
one
think
is
it's
a
a good
truly
opinion?
bad
I don't think
I don't really
losing Dalvin Cook is going to hurt them at all.
Okay.
Like, at all.
I agree with you.
I think their defense got better.
And the reasons that I was hearing that they let go of Dalvin Cook is, although he did have a solid year last year, the type of
1,000
runner
yards.
what's up?
1,000 yards.
Yeah, but the type of runner he was the year before compared to last year, like some of those shots when it's close calls, going out of bounds, injecting punishment on the defender, he was running a little bit.
Okay, so bad
little
opinion
bit
though,
softer.
or no? I think it's a bad opinion. I don't actually
They
like.
seem to think it's a good opinion.
I'm kind of
No,
thinking
we're just.
about it.
But he said counter thoughts.
Yeah.
And it's like
Say
now,
something
now you're put in this
bad.
Other than
position.
the Eagles and
Yeah, that's.
yeah, I agree with you. I
Do I have
that's
to
a good
repeat it
opinion.
again?
What do you agree with?
You just had to reiterate. It's like, so wait, what you're saying is not the Eagles or the Niners?
Repeat it for the third time. Okay.
I love the opinion. I'm on board.
I like that opinion.
On board.
I like it. All right, my
Third.
Do you
third
think
one.
bad?
Third one is a personal one.
I think
Just one word.
no.
Okay. Third one is a personal one. I am going to have the greatest NFL gambling season of my life.
It's a terrible opinion because you've literally you've gone every single way
Yeah.
on the first show.
Yeah.
So now you can look back on every single week and say, well, remember when I said this?
Yeah. No, it's a bad opinion, but I say this to myself every single year, week one. I'm like, this is
Do
the
we
year.
have the numbers on the past? Like, what
Oh,
makes
bad.
it the greatest? What
Terrible.
makes it the greatest?
If I go 55%, it's the greatest.
But
For
he
the
does
entire
usually-
season?
you-
But isn't that good for anybody?
Yeah. I'm going to do it this year, though.
But you usually win this show. Haven't you won the show like every
I have won
every
this show,
season?
but we didn't pick
I
against
think
the
it's.
spread.
I think it's just based off your week one picks. I'm going to say bad opinion.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Just so you know, Will,
But I do want to root for you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
every season that we have done the show, Dan has always won records and the Survivor Pool, which we're going to get to next, just so you know.
I think Dion might have won once.
Didn't you get you got a car for your son?
Yeah, because I went like all the way to week 13 Survivor Pool, and then Mike McCarthy smashed that watermelon and didn't fuck me up.
So speaking of Survivor Pool,
I mean,
He smashed a watermelon before they played the Vikings, and I didn't know that they were going to smash the watermelon, and then the Cowboys came out and played with their fucking hair on fire.
Yeah.
I got to know that the watermelon's
Yeah, you start attacking
You
fruit. the
can't
Cowboys
do
get
that.
upset.
You can't do that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough, especially a watermelon.
Okay, so maybe next week you do the bad opinions. Or I'll do it again.
No,
I don't
I'm
care.
down. Let's
Yeah.
let's get to the Survivor Pool picks presented by Jack Daniels and Coke. The boys have them up here. They're already pre-made, which is so clutch because you don't have to do all the mixers. And if you're at a tailgate, the last thing you want to do is have to go into a cooler and grab a mixer, grab a Coke, whatever. Jack Daniels and Coke already, and it looks cool too. These black
Incredible.
cans.
I've never had a bad time when I've said, hey, I want a Jack and Coke.
If somebody's throwing you that out of the cooler,
Oh,
Well, it's ready to
Clutch move.
drink.
Yes.
You know, it's
Clutch
going to be
move.
nice and cold, the amazing taste. And if you have a Jack and Coke, you just automatically are cooler than everybody else, right?
Yes.
So go to your local retailer right now. Go to jackdaniels.com/Jack and Coke to find a location near you. So for Survivor Pool picks, every year we've had some sort of bet or wager. Are we going to do that again? Have you
we
guys
have to
thought of
figure
this?
that out.
We have to figure this out.
We'll
Okay.
figure that out after this week. Let's see
Okay.
if we survive week one.
So let's see who survives. So again, there will be a rotating fourth chair, but that pick every single week just piles on. So who wants to start?
I'll start.
All right.
I'm taking
Dan.
the Seahawks. I think the Rams are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Boom.
Okay, Taylor.
I'll go next. I think the easiest pick here is the Ravens. If it's just a straight up, we're not talking about points at all. Ravens versus arguably one of the worst teams, Houston
Yeah.
Texans. I'm going the Ravens.
Will.
Washington.
You love the
I like
commies.
them over. Yes, I did. Look, again, my gotta have it, but also I like it. I like the pick. I think the Cardinals are going to suck.
I think
that's a safe
your
pick. I think
passion
it's a good
behind
pick.
it makes me feel like it's not going to go well.
I mean, he was like banging his fist on
yeah,
the
but
table.
it's like there's so much over and over. And I think they're going
he's-
to win too. I think you're right. But the fact that you want it so bad makes it's giving me Nebraska Cornhusker vibes.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
just
though?
saying, brother.
Have I not been that same way about the Chiefs all week long? And how dumb did you look sitting there in that pizza shop last night?
Yeah.
Like, hey, you were right.
I look pretty dumb. I look stupid.
Okay.
Okay.
Jerry, you got one?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos this week.
Oh, I like
Broncos
it.
against the Raiders.
I like
think
it.
Russ is
Just
back.
lost.
Let Russ cook. He's back.
Jerry's out.
Let him cook. I like Jerry being in the mix more.
Jerry's out.
Yeah.
Jerry being in the mix
Jerry's
is
no
good.
longer going to be a part of this next week.
I am.
So if the next week,
I think the
Jerry's
Broncos
wrong,
are-
he no longer gets to
He's
play.
out.
I
Yeah,
think
he's
Broncos
out.
can make
Oh,
a
that
run.
was one and done for
Deep,
Jerry.
Deep run. Like a really
Yeah.
deep run.
How do you feel
Sean
about Patrick
Payton, I think
Surtain
he's-
doing that?
I think he's
doing
the
it to Devontae
X-Factor,
Adams.
Sean Payton. Say it again?
How do you feel about Patrick Surtain saying that stuff about Devontae Adams?
Patrick, what did he say? I didn't even
They
know.
said, how do you feel about Devontae Adams? And he just said, who?
Oh,
I love
like
that. He's a lockdown corner. I
like
love
that.
that.
He ain't locking down Devontae.
You're not locking down Devontae Adams.
He's a lockdown corner.
He's a lockdown corner, but he ain't
You
locking
guys
Give him
might
safety
disagree,
help.
But cornerback is the one position where I'm like, say whatever you want.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
those
a
guys
good-
are
Oh,
yeah,
different.
absolutely.
They're just different.
But-
they have
but-
the worst job every single week.
He can say what he wants, but there's still going to be repercussions for his actions. Devontae Adams is about to have 150 and 2 touchdowns.
He'll have less than 75 yards. Book it.
Love it.
Less than 75?
Yeah. Yeah.
I
disagree.
Patrick Surtain is that guy.
Disagree.
I hope you
Taylor
disagree.
just said, I
Disagree.
disagree.
He said 152 touchdowns.
Well, I wanted to make sure I got the last comment in.
150.
The last comment in.
Okay, so that's the last of the show. Week 1, we started, so how are we feeling? How did Will do?
Great show.
Great show.
Great point. We'll have Taylor back. Taylor will be back for sure.
Taylor will be back.
I don't know. I had a
No,
couple
you'll
of
be back.
mess ups there.
You'll be back.
I'll call Dan Dave.
Yeah.
We
that's
need
okay.
a nickname. We need a
It's
nickname.
week 1.
What?
Week 1.
You're
Just
right.
think about it. I'm just saying we need a nickname.
Like the
For
two of
what?
us?
Yeah, just so
Okay. Sure.
we're like in each other's MySpace top 8 right now.
Okay, yeah. Fave 5. Yeah, okay. All
Okay.
right. Got it. We got to get a nickname.
All right, everybody enjoy their NFL Sunday, and we'll be back for week 2 next week.